Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Catherine Cushinberry with NonprofitIsBusiness, and I'm so thrilled to have you in this space and in this place with me because my sister is here,
Yes.
Sasha Cushinberry.
Cushinberries.
So we're the Cushinberries. There are two of us
Yeah.
now, and I'm so thrilled to have an opportunity to share getting to know her with you. And you get a chance to learn more about her and some really exciting work that we're doing together in the very near future. Not the future, but the future. So, Sasha, welcome. Hey,
Hello.
sister.
Hey, sister.
Sasha, I know some things, but I'm going to ask you the questions anyway, just because inquiring minds may not know.
Absolutely.
So, Sasha, tell me a little bit about yourself. How old are you?
I am 32.
Okay. Are you a
Yes,
mom?
I am a mom of two beautiful girls, Trinity, who will be 11 soon, and Egypt, who is 6.
My nieces.
Yes.
My
Your
beautiful, brilliant
beautiful
nieces. Now, people who know me know that I'm 50 and you are
32.
32. We have the same father,
Father.
so he got busy.
Yes.
A little bit later on past me. So he still had a little bit more masterpiece working to do, and he did the good work
Yes.
and created my sister Sasha, which I'm really grateful for. You are a joy. You really are. You're smart, you're beautiful, you are a fantastic mom. And you're a fantastic caregiver to dad and to your mom. You're just an all-around amazing human being. So I'm really excited for people to get to know you more than just that little bit of introduction. There's more for us to go. So tell us a little bit about you. Like you grew up in
Yes, I grew up in Topeka, Kansas, born and raised.
I'm on Topeka.
Yes.
And there is a park in Topeka with our last name
Yes.
on it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go to Topeka,
Yeah.
and go see the
It's
Cushinberry Park, because there is
It
one right
is.
near the Brown v. Board of Education Museum. Our name is on it.
It is.
Listen, popping our collars on
Okay,
that.
period.
Okay. So you are born and raised in Topeka. You have two daughters. Tell me a bit about what motherhood has been for you because I don't have any children, but I definitely have some amazing nieces that you are raising beautifully. Tell us a little bit about motherhood for you.
It's been amazing. Excuse me, it's been amazing. They are definitely my biggest cheerleaders.
Aw.
And it's been amazing watching them grow, growing your own little humans and, getting them through different aspects of life. It's an amazing process. It really is.
So you get a chance to see your kids grow, and I have at certain milestones along your lifespan, I've gotten a chance to see you grow. So I remember Dad calling me while I was in college at Murray State University. Shout out to the Racers. Telling me that you were born. I was like, born? What? The baby? A baby? You got a sister. That's what he told me. You got a sister. And I remember that day is the day that I knew you existed. Do you recall learning about me and maybe how you learned about you had a sister?
Well, I have known about you since I could know about you.
Okay.
Yes,
Fair.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
yeah.
Always been a part of my life.
Yeah, I remember when you were really, really little, and I was visiting in, I think, Topeka, or maybe we were in Omaha, but I remember you being really small and us being at a rehearsal for Dad, and I was watching you just running around playing on all of the things.
Yes.
And then again, at
Still.
my graduation, you got a chance to come to my doctoral graduation. So
Yes.
that was wonderful. How was that to be in that space? I'll certainly tell you what it was for me to see you there and to know you were there. But what was it like for you?
It was very liberating, very inspirational. Definitely put me on track to wanting to finish school, knowing that it actually meant something, and I can do it too.
That's
My big
right.
sister can do it. I can too.
That's right. That was what it was for,
Yes.
right? Like I'm always thinking about like, is the next generation going to be able to do it better and more? And though we're technically in the same generation as sisters, you're so much younger than me that it mattered to me to have you there, to see your beautiful little face. And Dad was there as well with you. He brought you. It meant a lot because I don't ever do anything just for me. And I think because I don't have kids, that means a lot for me. And I know for you, you are now doing it for not only so many others, but certainly for
My
your
babies.
girls, for the babies,
Yes.
for the babies. Someone asked me when they knew we were going to be together in this space. They were like, "Are the kids coming?" I said, "Honey, Egypt, the youngest would be running this whole show.
Running it,
We wouldn't get nothing
okay?
done because
Nothing at
it would be
all.
the Egypt show. We wouldn't have any
Yes.
footage."
Of her.
Of her. We'd have tons of footage of
Yes.
her. But tell us a little bit about like the thing that I think unifies us in many ways, and we'll talk about this a little bit more about like how we're alike in terms of dads being like the bridge between the two of us. But tell us a little bit about the nieces. What are you seeing in them that are in terms of like you see yourself reflected in them? What do you see?
Yeah. So they both reflect two very different parts of me.
Okay.
And so Trinity has tacked on to my creative side with
Okay.
singing and dancing
Yeah.
and, you know, cheering and all the things creative. She can draw, I mean, all of that. And Egypt has taken on more of the talking, public speaking,
Yes.
and, you know, she can definitely articulate and, you know, get everything she needs out
Yeah.
to say. She does not have a filter whatsoever.
Zero.
We're working on it, but as of right
Or
now,
not. Let my niece be great.
yeah,
Say what you want to say, Egypt.
and
No, I'm
that is something also too. You know, being a mom, it's like learning how to not dial her down.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know,
Not to squelch her spirit.
not to compress it at all,
Yeah.
but to actually, you know, allow her to be her. Allow her to say what she's gonna say. You know, like she might hurt your feelings, but you know, you gotta know a kid gonna tell you the truth. Okay?
Listen, she was on
She
video
gonna-
with
she
a
gonna tell
cousin
you
of
the
mine, and he
truth.
said, "I'm 34." She said, "Dog,
Yeah.
dang, like
Old. Okay.
old." And he was like, "Oh my god!" Like she didn't think twice. She
No.
pulled that trigger so hard. She's like,
yeah.
"Let me
Didn't
throw
think
this dart in
twice.
your neck. You
Yes.
out."
I love it. I love it so much.
And I got a chance to, about a year ago, when you talk about the public speaking, I got a chance to attend one of the events you had in Topeka, which was absolutely phenomenal. And that was my first time seeing you speak publicly. And I sat there, listen, selfishly, okay, this is going to say a lot about me. God help me. But I was in tears because I was like, she like me. I was like, she's just like me.
Yes.
Baby, you demanded that room. You let that whole room of women have it. Can you talk just a little bit about what you offered and in Topeka for women? What was that space for, and what did you do?
So it was called Girlfriends in Gratitude, and really it was just a way to bring women together, for us to tap into different exercises and experiences that we have, to really help them be their better selves, you know, exercise their greatness and
Yeah.
see their full potential. So it was an amazing experience. I met a lot of amazing women. It was amazing having both my sisters there on the same night.
Yes,
you
there is
know.
another sister.
There is another sister.
Another sister.
But-
Not the Cushinberry sister, but
But there's
you have
another
another
one,
sister.
yes.
That's right. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you, T. And yeah, so it was just an amazing experience,
Aw.
you know, that I got to have for a period of time, and yes, set some things off. Definitely.
It was
did.
beautiful to watch you stand so boldly and so confidently and to guide women through some really intentional, thoughtful conversation. Things that I was listening to people's responses, and they were just like, "Oh, I never thought about this," or "I didn't see it in this way." You were just so insightful and so transparent. I was so extraordinarily proud. I was over there. My eyes were wet. Okay? Wet.
Yes.
Because I was so, I got to see you. I got to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so lovely. It was so lovely. Okay, so speaking of,
It was great.
It was great. It was exceptional. If I could even take it a step further, it was really exceptional. And I hope that you have an opportunity to do more of that in the Topeka area. I think areas that are like these kind of smaller, mid-sized cities, women need that.
We need it.
And I will also add this, that there was a diverse group of women in that room.
Yes.
Various socioeconomic status, various geographic representations across the Topeka area, various ages, ethnicities. It was all there. And baby, you were carrying that room.
Yes, carry it, baby. And that is one thing that I love too. It's not even just, standing up and speaking and demanding the room, but also getting in the crowd and getting to know them individually and, rapping with them on different levels. So it was an amazing
Listen,
experience.
I can tell you dad's child because you say rapping. That's old school, baby. That's that old daddy conversation. Your daddy ain't young, girl.
Old school, baby. Old school.
He is old school. Well, you've got a chance to tell me a bit about how you see yourself in the girls. Let's talk about dad and what he has provided for us in terms of our personalities. But even before then, let's talk a little bit about him. You've had way more time with him growing up. Tell a bit about our dad, because people who know me know about my mom, the ladybug, who I was raised by, but I don't often talk about dad, but I think that you have a vantage point that's really quite lovely. Talk about that man. Talk about our daddy.
Shout out to daddy.
Shout out.
So as you mentioned, he's been a musician for my whole life. So, that is essentially what I know him as, is that person who's going to get dressed to the T, okay? Fresh to death, okay? Yeah. And step out and really do his thing. I mean, that man, he will play anywhere with anybody and, demand the room.
And he going to take over that set. It's going to be his.
Over the set. That's right. His. But, it's just amazing seeing him be able to do that, and people will just conform to it and just, accept that and love on him and, give him that praise. And, sometimes now when we're driving around and things like that, and there's buildings that he played at that aren't even there anymore.
Because your daddy ain't young, baby.
Not young, baby. He ain't young, okay? But it's just amazing seeing the memories and watching him get the flashbacks. And I used to play there, and I met this person, and I did this, and and it's just like, yes, sir. Yes.
I love that so much. He plays instruments. He sings. We both sing as well. And one of the instruments that he plays that I'm most impressed with is the harmonica.
Yeah.
I remember him giving me a harmonica as a kid and just playing around with it. That is his gift. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, what is this? And I would have the whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
I was like, but he can make it talk.
Oh my gosh. Yes. My most experience is him on the keyboards.
Yeah.
And his fingers are like large. So watching his spider fingers, crawling across them keyboards and doing his thing, and it's amazing because he never learned how to read music. So it's just like in him to know how to do that, and in ways, it kind of sucked because he couldn't necessarily teach me, but there were some things that he could, teach me back when I was a kid, and now seeing it filter into the girls, and they're learning and got time on the keyboards, and Egypt got her harmonica gift.
Listen,
girl,
it's good to know it's a legacy that keeps legacying. Yes. I love that
it's
so
lovely,
much.
But he's pretty amazing.
Well, that's so good. And I think I've shared this with you. I know I have, that it's really lovely to watch how he's showed up for you as a dad, and especially even with the grandkids, to see that he has the opportunity to explore what grandfatherhood looks like, because he wasn't getting nothing from me. He wasn't getting jack from me from no grandbaby. So thank you for doing the good work. Appreciate it. And you gave him two. So one for each of us. I'm going to take that as the gift. But I love that he gets a chance to live all of those things and explore that part of his life in his seasoned time of years. So I love that very much. It's very cool. Yeah. Very cool. I love that you have this chance with him and the girls. Great. Well, one of the things that I love is that my sister, okay, because I'm about to turn the corner so hard. Let me put on the blinker. All right. And then let me make this turn. Yes. My sister is a published author.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me pop my collar on that one. My sister, everybody, is a published author. Sasha, tell us a little bit about your book and the title and what's it all about.
Okay. Yes. So, 28 years old, published my first book. It is A New State of Life Self-Care Workbook. It came after me going through a process of, self-care, digging into myself, learning, healing the traumas from childhood and all the things, and experiencing not so great people, and really just learning myself. And, it was a time where I was helping so many other people do the same things, and God was like, write that down. Put that in something that other people can read and see. And so, that came about, and I wrote it in a day. And
wow, that's exceptional.
Yeah, it's been an amazing process.
But the editing process, I assume, took longer than that day.
Yes.
Yeah. But you poured it out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was
in me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Listen, I know this about you, that you are interested in other people following their healing space, because I remember we were doing that phone and video text, and you were like, you need to be healed.
Yeah.
You
I'm
need to be
going after
healed.
everybody.
You had me in your sights. I was like, I'm
Yes.
okay.
I'm good.
It's okay.
Yes.
You were like, are you sure? I see.
Yes, because I at the time, I really was going out. My goal was to heal my family, and whatever sense that meant, and so yes, I was coming for you.
Listen. Who you telling them? You ain't telling me. I felt the heat on my. It wasn't even like, how you could feel like a heat coming, like a little warm. Baby, you had pure torch on my ankles. Like, baby, I'm right here on you. So, but I appreciate that. I love that you have that kind of heart, and that you were concerned. It didn't come out of a selfish place. I think you were genuinely concerned about me, and like, are you okay? And how are things, the relationships? And so I appreciate that. I think that's a beautiful gift to have. And you were gifting that to me, so I really, really appreciate that. So you're author, but you also of your own book, but you do ghostwriting?
Yes.
Tell us about that, because I have friends who constantly want to write a book, and they go, I just need a ghostwriter.
Yes.
Ghostwriter. Talk about how you got into that. What do you enjoy about it? Talk to us about it, because it's like a secret society. If I'm honest with you, people are like, how do you find a ghostwriter?
It is.
Okay, so talk a little bit about it.
I love it, honestly. Writing your own book is one thing, and people always expect, when's the next coming out? When's the next book? What you're doing next? Da-da-da-da. But, I kind of took a shift and started realizing, as I got to meet more people, talk to more people, especially, like Girlfriends in Gratitude, and even with Dad and being around the older generation, like, people have some amazing stories, and it's really like, you don't even understand the type of things that people have gone through and gotten through and survived, and I'm like, yo, we need to write that down right now, okay? Because, man, so many things that people have experienced and grown through, and it's like, you can help other people. There are other people who are going through this secretly that haven't expressed it or said anything, know, and it's cool to read a romance novel or a business book or whatever, but to be able to put your own story out there and to tell people what you've grown through, what you've been through, what you've experienced, and things like that, it's a powerful move. It is.
What's the difference between you writing a book for yourself that's coming out of you and you writing it that's coming out of someone else? What's the difference, and is there something you prefer more than the other?
No preferences. Everybody has their own story, like I said, everybody has their own experiences, and I think that's what I love most, is learning more. Like, you learn the most by other people's experiences and things that they've gone through. The difference really is, I get to take myself out of the equation as far as my ideas and my thoughts and my experiences and things like that, but I get to use my creative side to kind of mold and just put their ideas and shape it into this beautiful masterpiece that they can love and be proud of and appreciate, so it's not about me, but just being able to be that voice to help them get theirs out there.
And is it a collaboration between you and the person who wants their story told? What does that kind of look like in terms of it coming together with what you hear and what you actually create?
So it just kind of depends on how far the person may be. I've worked with people who already have things ready and are just like, I just need you to just do something with
Yeah.
this. And I'm like, all right, bet I got you.
Got you.
And then there
Yes.
are others where, it's like they don't really realize that they literally have a book inside of them.
Yeah.
They don't realize that they have it inside of them.
Yeah.
And so, my job is to kind of go through and, pick that out of them and, kind of open up their minds and realize, like, you've been sitting on gold for a long time, baby. It's time to
Get this gold out of
it's
here,
time to
sift
get
through
that
all of this
gold.
stuff and get to the
Yeah,
gold.
very important.
Very nice.
Yeah.
There's like this continuity that I keep hearing in your stories around like caring for people, whether it's dad and your mom, which I want to pause and talk about just for a little bit, or even your kids or other people's stories or self-care. Like there is a caring part to you that I certainly see as a theme as to who you are. Can you first though talk a little bit about what it means to be caring for parents and having sat in that space? Because that's one we can sit down and talk about this for a minute. Because I got stories about Ladybug. Go ahead.
It's definitely a different experience.
Yeah.
And it has been very life-changing. And not only just for me, but for them too. And it's kind of working through that shift of it's like, I'm kind of becoming the parent now, and you guys are my babies,
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's different, but I love it because they get an opportunity, to be loved on and to get that love and care and, know that they have somebody that's got them regardless. It don't matter what it is. It don't matter how detailed, how personal, how whatever, it's like you have somebody that's going to have you, and I'm going to have you till I can't touch you like till I can't have you right here no more.
Yeah.
So it's very important for me. And it's been a lovely experience. It has changed all of our relationships a lot.
Listen, who you telling?
lot.
The things my eyes have seen
Okay.
caring for my mother when she was going through her health challenges. You may know this, that my mom had a bout with cancer and double knee replacements and a hernia replacement, spinal surgery, and just watching her navigate and being there with her every step of the way, caring for her, relocating for 4 months from Seattle to Memphis to care for her. Let me tell you this. I have this thing that when, we're entrepreneurs and we have our own businesses, and how freeing that is. But it was especially important for me because what I come to know to be a true thing is that you can give everything for any organization or business, but at the end of the day, that relationship will end. But for the people that you love, that is, to your point, until the last breath. And they will show up for you and have shown up for you or for me in times when no one else has.
Yeah.
And so if it ever comes down to me having to choose between pleasing an organization and a group of strangers and caring for my mom,
I'm going over here.
baby, bye-bye.
Every time.
Like I'm out.
Every time.
Listen, and it's not an easy thing. I don't have a partner. I'm not married. And so it's me doing it all by myself. So I understand the journey. And when I was caring for my mom, one of the loneliest times for me was like her going from surgery to hospital to rehab. And I am mainly responsible for everything. Yeah. Like there will be family members and friends who would come and show up and sit with her periodically. But like if there was a gap in her care, I'm on them like flies on shit, like for real. Like I care about you know what I mean? And so no one can really understand how lonely that feeling is because no one can truly sit in that with you the way you have to.
Yes.
The way you have to. So it was lonely.
Yeah.
I even shed a few friends during that time. I know you thought I would say shed some tears, but nah. Friends.
Same,
I had to share.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And, I want to respect my mom's dignity, but we went through some things together. I saw her in positions that,
you just don't, you can't fathom being in in certain situations.
Yeah, and it wasn't comfortable for her, but I had to make it comfortable
Yep.
for me. So I don't know. It felt really lonely for me.
Yeah.
What about for you? Because listen, let's be even more transparent. Not only are you taking care of your mom, you're also taking care of our dad, and I'm not in that with you.
Yeah.
You're doing that thing. So how has that felt?
You know, God is good.
Listen, anytime anybody about to say something that's deep, you go, God is good. Okay.
He has put it into position to where, thankfully, you know, they're not down at the same time.
That's fair.
But you know, it's back to back. Like if it ain't one, it's the other, and it's been consistent like that for. We're going on 6 years now.
Yep.
Okay.
Same.
We have put in some time together. Okay.
I get it.
But yes, I feel you on the lonely aspect of it. It definitely is a position where you really have to tap in and be all in. There's no, you know, and just kind of accept, you know, that your lifestyle is different. You can't do everything that you used to do anymore, you know, things like that. And although lonely, yes, but it also stems for, you know, you learning things that you probably wouldn't ever learn. Like I'm pretty sure I could be a nurse and, you know, a doctor if not.
That's right.
I'm calling things before they
know what it is.
Okay?
That's right. That's right.
I know what's going on, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Right.
Um,
I had to tell my mom, you got plantar fasciitis.
Okay.
And what she have? Plantar fasciitis.
Don't play with it.
Because I called it.
Know.
Yes.
But that's just the amazing, you know, that's just one of the benefits of it is, you know, it's just another way to grow yourself in a different way. I mean, it's the same thing, you know, in a business, you know, when you're spending and pouring all your time into a business and learning different things about this business and, you know, how to fix things, solution-based and things like that. And it's a different type of business, you know, but it's the best business because, you know, I get to be with my parents and, you know, they're my besties and, you know, like I don't have to worry about, you know, even though they do probably want to fire me sometimes.
But they can't.
But they can't.
But they cannot.
They need me.
They need you.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. That ladybug of mine, listen, I just say she's about, if I could put her in an age group, she's probably like in her 20s, right? Because maybe 18, 20, because here's how I know. One, her friends, what they say means more than what I have to say. Number two, I really don't ever know what I'm talking about. Number three, she don't usually have time for me. She be trying to get along and leave me, just like a little young adult. I was like, honey, you gonna sit down and listen to me.
Oh my goodness. I know. Dad has had a time, you know, where they took him to an appointment and he took his paperwork and was trying to fill. I'm like, look at you trying to be grown out here.
Give me the paperwork.
Give me the paperwork, sir.
My mom does. She'll get it and she'll start filling it out. And then two things happen. One, some information she doesn't have. And two, she's taking too long for me.
Yes.
So, honey, hand me the paperwork. Hand me the paperwork.
Let me do it.
It's
definitely.
It's real.
It's real. It's very different. But, you know, and for me, starting out at 27, 28, doing this, you know,
wow.
and I have other people in my ear like, what? Why aren't you out? Why aren't you, you know, doing whatever? And I'm like, I'm cool. You know, like I'm cool
Taking
over
care
here.
of my besties.
This is definitely going to be more beneficial for me than, you know, being out here doing whatever. And it has been. I've accomplished a lot in these last 6 years. More than I ever thought I would.
I'm so proud of you too.
So it's definitely shout out to the parents,
yes.
to the parentals.
They did good.
Yes.
They created an incredible human being in you. So I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And, you know, you're nestled between your parents and your kids. And these are all issues that people are dealing with constantly. And for you, though, a little bit earlier, right? So for me, if I had children, it would feel kind of right. Like I'm 50, having a mom who's in her 70s, and maybe having kids, if I'd had any, they may be in their 20s, 30s, right? But for you, you've got, you know, a soon to be 11-year-old, 6-year-old, and you got parents 70. Your mom is 62. So it's you're in that sandwich space in your life much sooner than many. So yeah, I understand. They're probably like, come on outside.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm excited.
I'm going to bed. I got a
Good night.
bedtime. Okay, I
Good
don't
night.
have. Yeah.
All right. Well, we know that caring is important to you, and I mentioned that. Talk a little bit about like this whole part of you that's about caring and how that has evolved you into your professional space right now. How does caring carry over into where you sit right now and what you're interested in right now professionally?
Oh man. Um, it's in me. There's not really any other way to go about it. I mean, I care about people.
Yeah.
Just genuinely do care. Like I said, I like learning people's stories and things that they've experienced and been through, and really, you know, sometimes giving them a light bulb. Like, dang, like I
Yeah.
really have gone through a lot. I really have, grown and changed and all these things. And so, you know, it's important for me, not just as a person, as a life coach, to be able to get people to see the brilliance in them, like the magnificence in them. Like, you are doing it,
Yes.
you are doing it. And it means a lot to me to be able to bring that out of people, and to get them to see themselves in a different position rather than, what they might be in, even if it is good. Some people are, doing great in
Yeah.
life, but they still don't see themselves, as the amazing person, or think that what they have gone through actually meant anything,
Yeah.
or it could change somebody else's life,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here.
I love it. And let's be clear, honey, you're a certified
Certified, baby.
life coach. Life coach. And when you told me that, I was just like, the light bulb went off in me. And I was like, so I do executive coaching with executive CEOs and C-suite folks, and really helping them navigate not only their professional realm, but sometimes it teeters over. I have this philosophy that it is not about work-life balance. For me, it's about work-life integration.
Yes.
Who you are at work is probably who you are at home. You just don't recognize that. And who you are at home certainly also trickles over into work. So you've said this before around life coaching. It's not being a counselor in that regard, like a psychologist or psychiatrist, but there is something to diving into who they are, that a measure of that. And I find the same thing in the executive coaching space, and just always so intrigued by what we learn from people in these conversations. So as a certified life coach, when I heard that I was like, the light went off for me. I was like, there are young adults who could benefit, even though I know that your clients range in age and demographics, correct? Yeah. So you young. What's the range?
I have worked with low as really 16. Oh, well, I mean, if we're really talking kids age, my kids, working with them and life coaching them. And I mean, all the way up to my parents, so that's kind of my barriers, as far as age group and things like that. But I've worked with many of people's
A minis.
that's got a lot going on.
They have a lot going
Got
on.
a lot going on.
So it's really important to me when I heard that you were a certified life coach to, I was like, like the light went off for me. I was like, oh, there is a need for that, I think, for 18 to 35-year-olds, that young adult,
Important ages.
important age group. And though what 18-year-olds need is different from 21-year-olds, but I think your experience having worked across a span, and you being in that kind of sweet spot at 32, I think it's just really quite lovely.
Yes.
And thought, man, this will be a wonderful package to offer to people. So I'm really thrilled. I just wanted to kind of tee that up, that I'm really excited to work with you. And listen, this isn't, people who know me know I don't do things for people. I do it for purpose.
Yes.
So yes, you are my sister. And yes, I think highly of you. And more importantly, I think you're the right person for this work at the right time for the growth of my business and our opportunity to be able to partner on something. Listen, I want people to know how brilliant you are, and I want them to have exposure to you. You really genuinely are a caring person. It's a true thing.
You.
All right, let's delve out of the business thing. Let's get into the personal life. Uh, let's talk about the talk about.
Okay.
Are you dating? Are you single? What are you doing, Sasha Cushinberry? Talk about that at 32.
Well, I am single.
Okay.
That's just kind of where it is right now. You know, a lot of things going on business-wise, family-wise, and things like that. And so, you know, I told you I be in bed. Okay, I got a bedtime out here. All right, not to say that I'm not open to it.
Yeah.
You know, I am open to it, but definitely just gotta find the right person for my type of
Okay, now
lifestyle.
that's what I wanted to get into. I didn't want you to give me. I appreciate the very clinical. I'm busy. I have things to do.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
You gotta keep it.
However, keep it a buck with me. Some of it has to do with available choices.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. What would be like? Listen, this gonna be seen. So let's talk about dating show. Nonprofit is business.
Let's talk about it.
And when you talk about it, I'm also gonna talk about it because this is my
Yeah.
sister. But at 32, you're mom of two. What is it that you're looking for, that you're thoughtful of today at this age and stage in your life for to date or to have as a partner? What are you looking for?
Somebody that has a caring heart, just as I, so that they can understand the lifestyle and things that I'm already going through. And definitely somebody, that has their own goals, their own dreams, and, fighting for their own desires as well. So, I need me a cuddle bug.
Somebody want to cuddle,
Somebody
but
want to cuddle.
yeah, cuddle. Is we gonna cuddle?
We need a cuddle. But just somebody that's just gonna be able to keep me on my P's and Q's. I keep them, and it just be a nice balance for us. Yeah.
I love that. I hope that I continue to have an opportunity to share with you what aging looks like, right? Because sometimes women don't have a chance to transfer information and knowledge, and neither do men transfer information and knowledge to, like, men to boys or women to the younger generation, and they also don't get a chance to share the information, right? So I look forward to talking with you about menopause when that time gets closer, or as you're upon it, because I'm well through or almost through. But more importantly, I also want to do something for you that no one did for me, and I hope you don't have to, okay? But what does it mean to date in your late 40s and early 50s? Nobody talks about that. Nobody told me, and I know why, because the generation ahead of me was like, hey, you should be married and settled, and with that person, your forever person. So what is dating? Yeah. They didn't know what to do, and now even the dating space looks so different, than what it was before. But nobody talked to me about these 50-year-olds with 3-year-old kids. Baby, what am I do with you?
Ooh,
what am I do with a 3-year-old? Sasha, I have a 0-year-old. I don't have no kids. What am I do with a 3-year-old? Somebody with a 3-year-old. God bless them, and I love that for them. But exactly, it ain't for me.
No.
But like, many of them have been through multiple marriages.
Yeah.
So some of them are trying to rebuild financially. Some of them are sandwiched between aging parents, kids, and they just don't have the time. And it's just, it's very different. And I've worked really hard to think myself someone who is, well positioned to date, but date who, honey? Date who? Who?
Slim pickings.
Slim pickings. But listen, I love it for the people who are able to identify a really great partner in me. I'm no hater. I love that for them. Yes. It's just, interesting. So I hope that is a conversation we do not have to have. But if we have to have it, just know I will have some insights for you, to share that. What are older sisters for if not to...
Right. I got questions.
And you're supposed to help keep me youthful, but yet you use the old terms like that.
Okay.
So what?
Baby, I'm the same age.
We the same
age out here, baby. I can't.
Now, I'm pretty sure the lady earlier today called you my older sister. I'm not sure. But didn't she, right?
She felt it.
She felt it. She felt the greater sense of wisdom, the extreme childishness in me, like the immaturity that sits on top of my skin, not deeply
Yes.
within, but like the ultimate childishness that is me. So she saw that you were more grounded.
Yes.
That sounds about right to me too. Oh,
I like that more grounded.
you are more
A
grounded.
little more mellowed out, you know.
You are. Let's, lean into like what's next. Like, what are you, as you think about what your life could look like, what are your hopes and dreams, Sasha?
Oh man, for me specifically, because I will filter into parents and kids.
Everything
and
for everybody else, or
everything for
Karen Hart.
everybody
Oh,
else,
Karen
okay?
self, yes.
Just so for me, really just tapping more into the things that make me happy.
Yeah.
Traveling more, getting to meet more people,
Sure.
do more great things. I definitely want to get married,
Aw.
one day and experience that type of love. So, big things happening, big
Yes.
things coming. I know it's coming.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit back and just let it all filter in
Yes.
the way it's supposed to.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Well, and what I love about you is that I hear you and like letting it filter in. But one thing I also know about you is that you are a doer. You will do the work. There's a scripture that says faith without works is dead. Like people are like, I'm just waiting on you, God. But and while you wait,
gotta
what you
move your feet,
doing?
baby.
Listen,
move your
march
feet.
on,
Yes.
onward, find a path to do something. This is what I tell people all of the time. And they stand at the fork in the road for life, and they stand there and go, well, which way should I go? Well, I'll just wait on you, God. And most of those people still stand at the fork of the road. They're still waiting to hear something. The God's like, make a choice. Let me bless you.
Yeah.
I will honor whatever you choose, but choose something.
Yeah.
It's in that choice and in that walk, right? So then he goes, okay, Sasha, I'll give you all of these other desires.
Yes.
Because you're not just sleeping in bed.
Right.
Right.
And I went through that phase.
Yeah.
I think we all, especially
We
being
all
single,
do.
we all go through that phase.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to wait for somebody to fall in my lap and knock on the door,
Yeah.
But that's not reality.
It's not reality.
And even though the dating pool is hard out here, putting yourself in the right positions, putting yourself around the right people, in the right environments, for the people that you want to meet, that you want to have the potential to meet, So that's very important.
It's so
like
important.
you said, moving those feet around and really tapping into yourself, like you don't want to be with nobody that's not doing nothing for themselves and doesn't have any
Can you say that
desire.
louder for the women who really do
know?
love being with somebody who ain't doing nothing? God bless y'all, but not the
but,
Cushinberries.
No,
Pass.
We gotta be
Double pass.
doing something.
And something worthwhile.
Yes.
Right? Anything won't do. It just won't do. My great aunt, Aunt Dorothy Shaw, my great aunt, used to tell me, because I grew up Church of God in Christ, that back in the day they would have the Church of God in Christ convention, which still happens today. But it used to be at the Cook Convention Center in Memphis, and actually even at the Coliseum, which is on the fairgrounds, and different places, right? But the point is that she was married and her friends were not, and they would be in the top tier of the seating, and her friends would be like, there's Deacon so-and-so. I like him. And she said, point him out. But my aunt would be like, well, baby, he don't know you up here. You got to get in the way.
Go down.
Get in the way, right? But the get in the way is true for not only dating, but also for business and work life, right? In order for you to get the things that you want in the way that you want, you've got to be, to your point, in the right environment, in the right spaces and places. And if you are not, you will get what you are surrounded with. That's why when you look at dating, it's about proximity.
Yes.
Like, who are you surrounded with? You end up dating the people from the neighborhood
Yeah.
because you in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right.
And, not to say that I can't have, boyfriend or whatever the case, but it's just like,
Oh, honey, you could. We know.
yeah, okay,
Don't play.
Don't play with it. But again, it's like I got two girls to think about.
That's right.
I want my parents to be happy with my choice.
Yeah.
I want him to be able to be around my family,
Yeah.
and
That's
things
sweet.
like that, and for them to be able to love them and he can love them, it's just a whole situation. Like, that's just what it's got to be. And if you can't do that, then we're not going to go far.
We ain't gonna go together.
We ain't going to go too far.
Cushinberry at 32,
Yes.
Cushinberry at 50, you don't get to know my family, okay? I don't want to know your family. Are we happy?
Are we happy?
Do we have our thing together?
Yes.
Are we, We can meet the family whenever. If they get along, great. But if they
Great.
don't,
But at
boop,
the end of the
boop,
day,
bop, do we?
Yeah.
Right? That's
Me and
that's
you.
my at 50.
Me
But
and
do
you.
we?
Yeah.
Do we have our thing together? Yeah, it's a dating, and I think it's very much akin even to business. Like you just and business relationships, even like just being really thoughtful about choices that we make and steps that we make. Just being super intentional. We don't accept anything.
Very much.
We just don't. Let me say it to the camera. The Cushinberries don't just accept anything. Hey, anything, get off of here. We ain't accepting it. Push. Don't
Log
DM my
off.
sister.
Log off.
Don't DM my sister. Little Mr. Anything. Okay, if you know you ain't got nothing going on, you push. Go on to the person who don't care about nothing like that, because she does. And if she don't, I do. Get out. No, I'm just kidding. It's so serious. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, we're
Really
not.
not kidding.
Sorry, but not
Sorry,
sorry.
but not sorry. Well, I've really enjoyed this time with you, Sasha. It's been really a joy. I'm grateful for this time to have FaceTime with you. It's lovely.
I know.
It's really lovely.
It's crazy.
You look just like Dad.
Shout out to Pat.
Shout out to Pop. You are his to win.
Yes.
Honey, I snatched my mama Ladybug's face off of her. She kept a bit of it, but I took all of her face, and you got all of Dad.
All of Dad.
You really look like him. It's really, really nice to see
I
him
know.
in you.
There's sometimes me and my mom will have people say we look alike, and we look at each other like, what?
They're very kind.
We don't hear that often.
They're very kind because
Yes.
you are a spitting image. Now, one thing I will say, your mom has the most joyful spirit about her. She's a laugher. She has this hearty laugh about her, and just the biggest, most brilliant smile about her. And I certainly see that in you as well. Yeah, just beautiful light about her.
Love her.
Love her. Yes. Yep. Well, I appreciate you. I love you,
appreciate
sister.
you. I
Thank
love
you
you
for this
too.
time. I'm looking forward to people getting an opportunity to see more of you, hear more of you and from you, and just watching your light just shine all over people's lives. I cannot wait to see what is next and in store for you. I'm glad it's honey. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. I cannot wait. Thank you for being here with me today. What a joy.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.